Star Wars players, welcome back. So we got a little bit of a treat here today. Obviously, this is game two of these first time in a long time that Star Wars CCG has been to Vegas. So we're gonna have it's just a Miyashiro versus Carl Koenig.
You should probably fix the names on
How
the.
about two patients there, Garrett?
Whatever, fine. So it looks like we got Endor Ops versus a playmat.
Playmat.
Oh, now we start seeing stuff. Here we go. The Rise of Skywalkers. So we're seeing some sort of Saga deck. Oh, it looks like probably Luke Saga because I see the Endor site. So Justin's going to be on Luke Saga. Let's see what he's. Or no, is that who's Darkseid in this match?
Carl.
Carl. Okay, yeah. So Justin's on Luke Saga with the best Star Pilot start as opposed to Walkling. I'm
What? You're what?
I'm a
Grumpy? We know you're
I
grumpy.
that's commonplace. No one's arguing that I'm not grumpy. I like Walkling.
You're the epitome of the grumpy old man. Get off my lawn, kiddos.
That's Grumpy Old Man was on TV. Grumpy Old Man was on TV last night, and my wife called me up and she's like, "You need to come. You're on TV." And
I have
even
not met
she
your
makes
wife.
these
She
jokes.
sounds like she sounds amazing. So
Like,
getting back to Star Wars CCG. So first of all, this is a kind of a team kill, being that Justin and Carl. Carl actually, like, Justin is full member of Team Killer Beast. Carl is,
Carl is on everyone's team.
yeah,
Like, Carl is just the Carl plays with everybody. And I'll be honest, Carl is
a joy.
absolutely exactly what new players coming into the game should use as a example of how to come into the group, how to hang. Like, Carl came in having never played Star Wars. His first tournament was, I want to say, like 2.5 years ago. He went to Nebraska and met me and a few other people there for a tournament and just jumped headfirst into, hey, I'm going to play this game. I'm going to have fun with it. He started playing on GEMP so he could see lots of the cards, and then slowly started building a collection based on what he wanted to play at that time instead of just, buying lots on eBay or whatever, and has attended lots of majors
Oh
since
yeah.
then. And just Carl is an amazing guy. Carl is part of the basement crew, as you see on his sleeves. He plays out of Columbus, Ohio, where our next major is going to be. We're just not exactly sure on when.
Yeah.
And it, if you haven't been to an Ohio major, go.
Well, I mean, there hasn't
The
been a Ohio
the
major yet. However, there has been Ohio Mega Worlds, which
I
Carl
attended
and Kendall and
and Travis and
Travis.
like
Thank you. My name is
I attended both of those mega worlds. The fact that I was
exactly
there makes them a major.
because
And
you were there.
yes, and if you haven't been there, you should,
Oh yeah, 100%.
because they
It's
are
it's an amazing
spectacular
time.
people.
Uh,
Spec Yeah, it's you should be there 100% if you can.
and if you're going to be going to the Columbus Major, I actually suggest going a little early and getting a tour of Travis's basement.
Get a tour of the basement, go to Fox in the Snow,
Oh yeah,
and
you got to go to
Justin's
Fox in the Snow.
playing on a playmat, and he has a spot marked for reserve deck, and he doesn't have his reserve deck there, and that is making me irrationally frustrated right now.
So you're going to
And
root
I
for
see
Carl.
your smile. I'm going to
You're
be.
rooting for Carl just for
I
the
mean,
fact that
I'm not rooting for either of them. I'm not rooting against either of them. I am irrationally frustrated with Justin right now.
when aren't you irrationally frustrated with someone? Boom.
I feel a little called out right there. I'll be honest with
No. But again, how do you feel about this matchup, this Endor Ops versus Luke Saga?
you. I
I'm trying to
think,
calm me. I'm just a very quiet person. I mean,
yeah,
plus, I mean, when you're dealing with Garrett and his Garrettness,
yeah, like trying to out noise me is a challenge in and of itself.
yeah, 100%.
I think
I'm also going to
the
go grab my
Endor
water.
Ops has a slight advantage here, and I'll talk while Dan ditches us because he needs his caffeine. I think Endor Ops is slightly advantaged here. The choke both decks are going to present is very real. The Endor Ops is only going to give up a couple icons. The Luke Saga is only going to give up a couple icons. The thing is, the Luke Saga wants to be initiating battles. They want to push the action, and Carl can play a little bit slower and prevent that action from being pushed. Carl can wait and just say, all right, I'm going to do my thing. The biggest struggle for him is going to be having an answer for Polis Massa. Like, we see Justin's got the Falcon in hand with the... So he's running Best Star Pilot. He's going to pull Polis Massa. He's going to get the Falcon there with Han draining for 2. And that's going to be something Carl's got to deal with. We see Carl just gets down Forlom. I mean, he's just playing fairly passively right now. He gets down Forlom, uses short-range fighters to go grab the Fetz fire spray. And wouldn't shock me if he's got a pilot for that already. I mean, we saw he had the Ozzel. Ozzel plus Fett on there is a rough spot. Dan coming back with his fancy Players Committee mug he got from some major or another.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I need another one. This one is 3 years old.
Yeah, I've got 2 at home, and they're so fun to use.
Well,
like
I have one that I actually use, and one is still in the wrapper. You can see it on my mantle with my collection of glass.
One trophy is not a collection, Dan.
Excuse me, I have 3 trophies, plus I have the volunteer awards. So you hush. Oh, and I have a mug, a giant mug from winning a team tournament. So you shush your mouth, Mister. I am jealous of everything, Dan.
All right, so Justin looks like he missed the Polis Massa draw, which is not ideal, but he's going to get out the lower corridor. Well, you couldn't hear.
Well, you're not going to hear Garrett here in a second. Up now you will. There we go.
So
I corrected it by putting on my earphones. So yeah, you should be able to hear me now. Maybe?
I think Justin. So if memory serves, the Polis Massa pull is not once per game. So Justin could just wait on it. Looks like there might have been a sleeve issue.
There's always a sleeve issue.
That's Justin's playing such strong cards. They just flexed and broke the sleeves.
And also, if you want to obtain quality PC swag, one of the best ways to do it is by donating to the PC. You can see all those foils that Justin and Carl have on the table right now. A lot of those were acquired by donating to the PC, playing in the OCS, which is coming up soon. But again, start looking for those 2025 PC donation tiers. You can also get the deck boxes, which you can see on my shelf, all 12 of them. You can see like the extremely amazing Darksaber box on my shelf as well. So all of that was acquired simply by donating to the PC, which if you donate to the PC, it all goes back into the game, obviously. That's how we're able to stream these games. That's how we're able to fund a lot of the things that the PC does. So,
and the PC is a 501c3, so that is tax deductible. If you are, if you itemize deductions or whatever, or if your employer does any sort of donation match, you can work with the PC and get that running. It looks like Carl's got his established secret base, plus a white border Ozzel down at the bunker. He went and grabbed Ominous, so I expect he's going to go for the flip here, which is...
Yeah. I think you setting up the flip here is really good. How do you feel about him going with the any methods necessary start to get Forlom over Boba Fett, the Slave One, and the Security Tower?
I'm okay with it. So I was talking about it a little bit when you had stepped away for your caffeine
And feeding
fix.
my tortoise, my
The
name Dash.
Of course your tortoise is named Dash, but
After
this is a
Dash Red
game
Dog.
where there's going to be very little early interaction because they're both choking each other
Yeah.
relatively aggressively. There's very little force being given up.
I mean,
So
the
Carl can go a little bit slower, and Carl can play more reactively. Like what Justin really wants to be doing is pushing the action. Justin wants to be initiating and getting that retrieval from like my father and the Skywalker epic event.
like my
And
father.
Carl is
You don't
not like
retrieve.
it's the Skywalker. The Force is strong in my family or whatever. The
There
epic
you
event.
go.
I don't remember what cards I
You
caught. It's
should.
a purple card.
You are a. So, oh, I'm sorry, but you are a high quality player and a high quality commentator. You need to say what the cards are, not what you think they are.
I don't know why you are lying to people and saying I'm a high quality player.
Excuse me. How
So,
many events did you win last year? And like, I think you did well in one of the retro leagues. Which, if you're interested in
yeah, I
joining
did
the
all right.
2025 retro league, applications are going now. So make sure you guys sign up for the 2025 retro league. It is a fun experience. I played throughout the
You
event last year. I had so much fun getting in games.
you definitely should. Like I signed up for the retro league, so there's going to be
And
free wins right there.
I mean, plus you get
Um,
the you have a chance to play Mr. Lodge Pog himself, Tommy Santos
there's
Suazo. Santos Swanso. I'm sorry, Tommy. I'm terrible with names, but you got to meet the Lodge Pog.
Tommy.
Tommy. It's just he's
Tommy
one name.
Tommy is another newer player who came into the game and just said, I'm going to make friends because everybody here is friendly, and he comes to all these different events, and Tommy is awesome.
I don't think he went to the Vegas event, which I'm a little surprised because like I know
It sounded
Tommy.
like we ended up with a few people who were planning to go to Vegas and just
Yeah.
didn't quite make it. And Carl's fanning his hand out a little bit to show us all that he's got Boba Fett and the fire spray ready to go if and when Justin puts a guy at Polis Massa. And I think
I'm a
Carl's
little.
perfectly willing to wait on that a little bit.
So I'm like you were saying earlier about how Justin has his deck. I'm a little perturbed now on how the locations are set out because Polis Massa.
I mean, some are flipped upside down, some are not.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, Polis Massa is an 8, same as Endor.
yeah. That's not the problem. The problem is like
And
how
Cloud
they're
City's a
vertical. Like how we have the bunker is like shifted down towards Justin. I think we have to teach both of these players some table etiquette.
All of
Especially
this
Justin.
is all of this is sending my OCD a little bit nuts, especially with the playmat, with the reserve deck spot just wide open there, and Justin like, I'm just going to ignore it and turn my reserve deck the wrong way. I love Justin, super great guy, driving me a little nuts right now.
I mean, I will say this though: looking at that playmat is amazing. Again,
The art on that playmat is so. I say this every stream, and every stream I mean it. The work our graphics design teams puts in, and the amount of just gorgeous cards they put out is absolutely second to none. As we see a Tarkin's Bounty,
best card of the game
by some schmuck. Looks like probably thrown on Grand Admiral Thrawn V, and you could see a little bit the shine of the Grand Admiral Thrawn as it came up. There's Palpatine also protecting the bunker. Okay.
I feel like he's going a little harder into the bunker than he needs to.
I think his concern is if you move away from the bunker, you give up the bunker, it's very easy to get flipped back.
Yes, but the question is like,
all Justin has to do is throw a body in there and flip him
how
back.
many spies is Justin playing? That's the question.
He's probably running a couple. I would wager he's got Ezra and/or Jin and/or Corrin. Like he's got at least 1 to 2, and Cassian's also an option. Like
yeah,
he's potentially got some spies.
That Cassian is an option.
So, and I think the plan actually might be what Carl might be thinking is at some point he's going to want to move the admirals out, and you just if you're not throwing Palpatine on the shuttle, having Palpatine defending the bunker isn't a terrible spot. It gives him the activation. It protects the bunker, so he keeps his objective on the 7 side, so he keeps Justin at you only draw 1 battle destiny.
So as we see Justin fan in his hand as well, and I like that the both players are showing the camera what is in their hand. We see that he has a Luke Skywalker Rebel Scout. He's also got, I believe, at least one ship. It looks like it's the wild card. He's got Chewie.
I thought he had the Falcon.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Falcon or Han Solo.
He might have 3PO'd back the Falcon,
which isn't a bad move because if you can get the Solo,
pilot.
Yeah, if you can get Han Solo and the Falcon, which you can use with best star pilot in the galaxy.
And he's got a Chewie in hand, and he might be going wild card plus. I'm not sure who he's putting on wild card there. Hera, okay. I don't.
That's bait.
Hate that. That is absolutely bait. But at the same time, if you're Carl, and again, depending on what he's got in hand, Carl could take serious advantage of that because Boba, as long as you don't put a Imperial down with him, if you use Boba plus any non-Imperial pilot,
that's 2 destiny.
That's 2 destiny, and you're immune to less than 5. Like I played a version of this deck for a while that ran Admiral Trench because command pulls him, and you could send him to use to make the fire spray completely immune.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, Fett plus Trench there, you use Fett's once per game to go get a command. Hey, I'll draw 3. Hera and the wild card are...
Well, you're drawing 2. Well, if you have to throw...
No, there's not a Skywalker at Polis Massa.
No. The reason 3. I'm saying it's 2 is if you throw Trench to the use pile and you don't have another pilot there...
I don't think you throw Trench to the use pile.
No, I don't think you would either. And
I think you trust that he isn't drawing up greater than 5 with 1 destiny and no add to it with the wild card.
I mean, this is a Luke deck, so you have to think he's got to run at least a couple copies of Young Skywalker and Luke Skywalker's Jedi Knight, which are both Destiny 6.
He's got some good destiny in there. Like, you take that risk, and honestly, it comes down to maybe if you have a 3rd body that's not an Imperial.
Yeah.
To throw down.
But the question is, which
body, or a Maul, or...
But both of those feel kind of bad because you want those characters on the ground.
Agreed. Trench doesn't work on any ship. He works on Episode 1 ships. And the Slave 1 Fett's Fire Spray is an Episode 1 icon ship because it's Jango's ship. All right, so Carl's instead going the opposite direction. He says, look, I'm just going to put the Fire Spray with Boba. I think he might have been a little worried about something like a barrier.
Yeah.
And you know what? Carl just says, no, we're going the other way. I'm going to put Dooku at the Drain 2 site.
Yeah.
Fett and Fire Spray, move probably Ozzel and Thrawn.
Yep, and that's...
Or at the very least, Ozzel. So he's just going Ozzel. Ozzel is a pilot. Moves him up. So now you're sitting at 2 destiny. Again, Fett can go get you a command at any time.
Yeah. And I like that play. Dooku has decent immunity. He has the ability to go get Force Lightning. He can go get himself Force Push.
Carl's already got the Force Lightning because he went and got it with Palpatine.
Well, he can probably cycle that with Forlom. But I'm saying, like, if I would go grab the Force Push because we all know Force Push is an amazing card to just say, oh, you're fighting me? Now you're not.
Yeah. Like, Force Push is great in that regard. But, like,
honestly, as Hall of Famer Chris Gogolin points out in the chat, being that Darkseid is flipped, you could throw an Imperial onto the Fett's Fire Spray, move him over, and hey, guess what? You're still only drawing 1 destiny.
Yeah, good point.
Thank you, Chris Gogolin. There's a reason why Chris is in the Hall of Fame, and we're just a pair of not Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Saying it nicely.
He could have gone 2 against the wild card with an Imperial, but
why?
Like, looking at his hand,
it's a drain of 1.
I think you're right. Like, let him pay to drain for 1 there. Carl's got a great hand. It looks like he's got a Choke Vader, he's got EPP Kylo, he's got a Lord Maul. He just went and got Eli in Dreadnought to back up at Endor and just, hey, I'm gonna drain for
Yeah,
2.
no, Carl's in a
Like,
really good
he's draining
spot.
for 4.
Yeah, Carl's in a really solid spot right now.
And this is the power of this Endor operations deck, and why I think it might be one of the most popular dark sides right now is
I
it
mean,
sets
8.
up a very solid, that Endor drain is good.
Yeah.
The choke is good.
Mm-hmm.
It pulls all your cards, and you're running just, here's Force Lightning and a, chunk of 7s.
Yeah.
So anybody who throws down in front of Dooku, you have to think is, running the risk of just getting choked out. Especially if you've got the Force push, you can go Force Lightning. Even if you miss, then you push out of the battle and don't have to give up the immunity.
Yeah.
And then respond. So
yeah, no, and like you said, there's
light
so.
side has to play aggressive right now.
Charlie, no, this is not Cube C. It's the Luke Saga with the new cunning Jedi, or Jedi cunning or whatever. I forget what it is. As I berated Garrett earlier, now I'm forgetting cards. But it's
Force is strong in my
yeah.
family. So
yeah,
purple card.
yeah.
It's the wild card. It's some Cloud City sites. I understand I understand the confusion.
But to say your point though earlier, out of the 26 players, 8 people are playing Endor Ops today.
Yeah, and here's where we see. So here's Luke coming down, but Justin's probably only got enough force to put like one more guy down, maybe. Like that's part of where this EOPS chokes pretty aggressively. Like right now, he's giving up 3 icons total. Like that's a fairly aggressive amount of choke. So now that Dan has made a top 8 of Worlds, do we expect more out of him on commentary? I mean, we've expected more out of Dan for a long time. It's not getting there. Let's just smile. And here's the Falcon with Han. Question is, where is he going? Like, I don't think you want to send him at Endor.
No.
Nope, you're backing up and saying, okay, well, I'll drain for 2 at Bolnasa, same as you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the right play.
I agree, especially with Luke on the ground. I mean, that is what Rebel Scout, so he gets +1 to the swing, or each of his destiny for swings.
And I didn't see a force field in Carl's hand. Like, that's the card he really would like.
Yeah.
Like Carl's ideal here would be force field to stop the swing, force lightning to try and kill Luke, and if you miss, you push out.
I mean, force lightning, Dooku is immune less than 8, so I don't think there's anything that Luke's going to draw on his own to get rid of the Dooku.
If you don't, if he can stop the swing. Like, stopping the swing is going to be the important part. And I think that's the question is, Carl's going to go grab force push here.
He's grabbing force
is
lightning.
He... All right.
I mean, I don't know. Did we see that Justin initiated because he could just grab the force lightning with Palpatine?
Good point. I'm not sure if he started the battle yet or not.
I don't think he did.
I didn't see a little red box go around it, so we'll see. You're going to hear this occasionally. Like, commentating on live games is so much different than commentating in GEMP because
100%.
It pushes me and Dan to know a lot more, which is always a challenge because I'm just not that smart. And we lose some of the intricacies of like, hey, did he start a battle yet? Or are they doing this way? And like, looks like he did. Oh, no, he did start a battle. And looks like he swung. So 2 and a 6 looks like a hit on Dooku. Now, Carl's got a dark time. He can just subtract 1 and say, no, you didn't hit. And I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah. And I think, that's the
right.
That's the correct. That's the 100% the right play. Now, I mean, you could, if he has the force push, you could do exactly what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the force push in his hand, though.
Yeah, but I think, honestly, I just let the battle go through. Duke is power 6, Luke is power 6, +1 from Like My Father Before Me. But if you
there's
draw
a 6 for Battle Destiny. So he drew the Emperor for Battle Destiny. Carl subtracts 1 to make it a 5. Luke. So I think at this point, Dooku's down 1 in power, maybe?
But, you said Carl subtracted 1?
No, Justin subtracted 1 from Carl's.
With
Over taking them with us.
okay.
Or they're tracking us.
There you go.
TTU. You knew what card I was talking about. I don't understand why you're yeah, Luke's
in a bad spot.
So now that the battle is done, I would not hate if Carl can do it, activate to his 6 and just lightning Luke away and call it a day.
Yeah, and I think especially with they're tracking us in the.
Although
the
Luke Saber adds 1 to his defense value, so I think he needs a 7.
Yeah.
So then it's harder. He doesn't. I don't think he knows where a 7 is, or he might. That's.
He might.
I don't try and track my opponent's decks when I'm commentating. Like
you don't try to track your own decks when you're playing or commentating.
Tracking is excessive. So we saw the first drain go through, drain a 2, and Justin loses the Luke's Bionic Hand and a We're Doomed combo, which are now sitting in his reserve deck because of there's a whole section for Lost Pile on the playmat. It's poor people who are watching this just listening to my ADHD and autism going, why are we talking about this playmat? Like, I just hear that. So, Carl.
Oh, man. I kind of want to see that now. Tracking is a collection by Garrett Larson.
There's a lot of tracking that does not get talked about.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Garrett.
So, I don't think anyone wants to read my poetry collection, though. I'm just going to lay that one out right there. Like, a poetry collection by Garrett Larson is not something anyone wants to read. And Carl says, hey, that's a cute Luke you got there. Let's throw everything in the kitchen sink at him. And he really is. Good Lord. Is that Tarkin, Choke Vader, Lord Maul?
That's like
Dooku.
That's a lot and a half. Like, Carl is, I mean, does Justin have the Hoojiks?
Justin's got a Clash. He's got a Sorry. Like,
okay, so he's got stuff.
Justin has the ability to make this very interesting. And I think he's going to Clash before the battle gets started. Because if you Clash out... Yeah, he drew the Hoojiks for Destiny, so he doesn't have it. I think you have to Clash out Tarkin here.
I would say Tarkin or Maul.
Or, okay, Vader. Either Tarkin or Vader is the Clash target because one or the other stops the battle destiny.
Yeah.
I think I would have
Tarkin is the
out...
answer because you don't want to give him the ability to draw 1 and then cancel and redraw it.
Yeah, I would have clashed out Tarkin simply to... Also, that leaves Tarkin where he has to potentially try and defend later. So there's the battle, there's the swing, there's the blaster deflection. Now we're going to see the swing from Justin, I think. And that's a 4 and a 5 and a 1, so that's a 7. That's an 8 total. 5 and a 1 is an 8.
The question is, okay, it looks like he hit the Vader.
Vader's clashed out. He definitely didn't hit Vader.
Okay.
I think he would have hit. I think he was going for Dooku probably because Dooku's got immunity that Maul and like if you're playing that, you swing at Dooku. Although he must have missed, and now he's doing Anakin to add a Destiny to attrition.
How did he miss?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm trying to figure out. They should have been +1 unless I missed something, or it was a 3 and a 1. I'm not sure what. I think it was thought it was Jedi's Con, but it could have been a Jedi mind trick.
I don't see where you're asking, Phil. Phil, also, why aren't you in Vegas?
So we see the Battle Destiny plus Destiny to attrition is a 10. So it is going to cost probably Maul and Tarkin.
I think that is a much more close, yeah. But I think that is working much more closely. So. No. That is a Phantom Menace. That is a Phantom Menace.
Okay.
That is the AI
Yeah.
Phantom Menace.
Ah. Yeah. Like I mean, I understand, Phil. Travel is what it is. So, and with the AI Phantom Menace meaning Maul's fully immune, I guess I understand the swing at Dooku. Although maybe that meant he swung at Maul and then the 8 would have missed
Yeah.
if it was Phantom Menace. So, because he had the Sorry, a swing at Maul would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And we see the Battle Destiny was another 6, which is +1 with Maul, so it does cost Justin Luke.
Man, swing and a miss. I haven't heard that in a long time.
And now it's going to be... Oh, yeah, now it's Justin's turn, but he doesn't have...
Yeah. The fact that he's already gone with one Luke and a Saber are both in his
I
lost
will
pile.
say the clash on Vader feels so much worse because even if you go take out Maul, you're now sitting on Vader being there versus you would have killed Vader with the Battle Destiny.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at just Tarkin, who's way less scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Tarkin needs backup. Vader alone can do some damage. And
Now,
we see
the nice
Justin
thing is
saying,
if-
all right,
If
here's
Justin
Leia,
does-
so I'm
I
going to
was gonna say,
retrieve.
if Justin doesn't come with a Jedi here, he's clearing Maul, which is good.
Yeah. And he might not need to. Like, Leia right there alone is I'll start a battle, I'll retrieve 2,
Yeah.
I will kill Maul with any Destiny.
Yeah, but I mean, you're also at the risk of taking some overflow.
Yeah, there's a possible concern.
Okay, not if
And
she's got
there's-
Anakin Saber on her.
Well, you still run the risk of taking overflow, although now with the
When are we going to make a Leia's lightsaber?
you have the choke. Like, he's got the Sorry, so Justin can battle, retrieve Luke and the Saber, swing and hit Maul, Sorry him away, but then he's staring at Carl coming back with all right, well, I'll start a battle with Vader, I will choke out my daughter and move on. And, like, that's not great for
That's not great for anybody.
Justin.
Yeah.
And Carl's probably pretty happy with it. It's not good for Justin, but...
Well, I mean... Yeah.
So,
Phrasing.
we saw
Yes, phrasing.
Justin did not drain.
Nick is yelling at you.
I think my phrasing was appropriate.
No, it wasn't.
I don't know what's wrong with my phrasing. So now...
Everything.
Pshaw. So the Scoundrel Lando makes things interesting because now you may not be wanting to pay to retrieve.
I mean, the only thing is you're still...
Well, I guess
it's
you
still-
battle for free, you pay 2 to retrieve 2, and then
Yeah.
you can't activate, though, with Cunning Warriors. So you're just saying, all right, Lando's going to die.
No, you can't activate with Cunning Warrior. It only works
Yeah.
with a Jedi Skywalker.
And the swing misses on Maul, which is actually really big.
Yeah.
And Maul swings back. I'm assuming at Leia. Yep, Leia is hit.
And, I mean, Justin's still only getting one Destiny in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 6, which is good. And
So, 11,
Carl with
15.
the 1. So Carl's got a 2, which puts him at 9. So Maul
Plus,
covers.
Yeah, he covers everything, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, and it costs Justin 3 cards to do that.
Yeah, like, and okay, you got rid of Phantom Menace, but like...
Yeah, and you get rid of Phantom
You're
Menace.
getting drained.
I mean, you're going to get drained for 4.
Yeah, I like the position Carl's in much more than I like the position Justin's in.
Phrasing.
So, it's...
But yes, I will 100% agree with you. Carl is definitely in a much better spot over Justin.
This drain of 4 is going to sting.
A little bit.
Like, it's 2 drains of 2, and now you honestly back up Vader.
Yeah.
And say, okay.
No, I think you still want to hold on to the Sorry.
Yeah, I think you hold on to the Sorry. I think he was counting on the Destiny in that deck is so high, you're very likely to hit no matter what.
Justin he shows us what he lost. Anakin Skywalker went lost.
And the Punch It, which is completely immaterial.
But it's a fun card.
Yeah, you can't add to the lightsaber draw. The Sorry only adds to the blaster draw, but even without it, like you gotta assume in this deck basically the only card you draw that misses on that swing is the Luke's lightsaber, and that's a little bit of bad luck for Justin.
It
But
is.
there's
It
not
is.
much he could have done differently.
And that, I mean, I will say this: in a game, after playing a bunch of games where there's a lot of variance, like I played Magic, I played Versus, I played Star Wars Unlimited. The fact that there's
Is that
so much,
another Kylo and then another Phantom Menace?
yeah,
So yeah, Carl just says, all right, well, I'm gonna reinforce. I'm gonna sit on my drains of 2 and 2. Well, you have a single drain of 2 you have to pay for.
yeah.
And I'm gonna say, come do something when you're only drawing one battle destiny.
But the biggest problem though is, like, again, this Anakin these family Saga decks can retrieve like it's nobody's business.
And it looks like we got Mara and Asajj at the other drain 2 site.
Well, it's a drain 2 if there's an Imperial there, and I believe
Mara would be an
Mara
Imperial.
is an Imperial.
It's drain 2 if you have an Imperial present. Mara's an Imperial, so it's drain 2. And there's the Force Lightning smacking Grand Admiral Thrawn for being, I don't know why. I mean, might just be he was being disrespectful to the Emperor. I heard him saying some things. He had that coming. So,
really?
And Justin's just not activating a lot. I mean, Justin's activating what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at best. And so he's now getting his speak for the Jedi Council Chamber.
And this is where you kind of want that walk lane to get some sort of retrieval going.
Oh yeah, the walk lane adds a couple more. Oh yeah, he doesn't have walk lane. I'm like, walk lane adds a couple more to his activation, but it would if he had it, but he doesn't. So yeah, he's just right now he's not activating enough. And when you compare it to what Carl's activating, it's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Justin
12,
does have the JCC
13,
out.
15. Yeah, he just got the JCC, which helps him. But the problem is he doesn't have enough force to deploy en masse anywhere. Like, he's at best dropping really one guy. And you're trying to drop one guy and make positive trades. But that's hard to do. You know, because you have to drop Luke to make those trades. You have to drop Luke to retrieve Luke or Anakin. And, like, neither of those sites is a great spot to drop a single guy.
No.
And if you start dropping 2, you run into the point of you can't activate enough to drop 2 guys and retrieve from starting the battle, at which point you're not getting the grind you're trying to with this deck. Like, this deck plays sort of like Skywalker Scum. What you're trying to do is drop guys, clear them, and retrieve, and just grind them out of character.
Skywalker Scum?
Yeah, well, like Scum. Your goal with Scum is never to just do big things. Like Scum, you want to just grind them out of guys.
Have you not seen Scotland Grell's Musician Scum deck?
Okay, Scotland Grell's Musician Scum is not anywhere near a traditional Scum deck. A traditional Scum, what you're trying to do is just grind them out of guys while you're retrieving. You're slow and steady. I'm going to keep starting battles. I'm going to kill your guys, and I'm going to efficiently kill your guys. So I'm dropping one guy, I'm killing 2 or 3 of yours while I retrieve, and I'm going to end up winning the game where you're just out of guys, and I've still got 15 or so force and a couple guys to just keep on doing this. This Skywalker deck kind of wants to do the same thing. Like, you've got Polis Massa to hold and get around coward retrieval and get a steady drain threat, and then you're doing okay, here's Luke, I want to drain and retrieve, and we see the Rey. So he'll use Rey on the once per game, which is a change in the tweak set that just popped.
Yeah, which is a
month ago.
Great,
excellent change.
Great, change.
Spectacular change, definitely needed. Rey was the strongest card in the game. Using Rey to draw the bottom card, that's fine because you're only getting 1 back when you start this battle, and you battle for free.
Yeah.
And get your 1 back, activate 1 with a Cunning Warrior. Like, Justin is in kind of a tough spot here, though. Yep, so he starts the battle, pays 1 to retrieve. He starts the battle for free.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like he forgot to throw down the Luke's lightsaber he had in hand. And
Carl says,
Carl says,
nice guy.
okay. Yep. So now starts the battle, pays 1 to retrieve. I mean, if you're Carl here, I think you first things first is you try and choke out Palpatine's granddaughter.
You
like,
can't. Not yet, at least.
Well, yeah, Carl gets his. Justin gets his first shot, which is going to be swinging at someone, and he draws a 4 and a 1. Okay, I guess it's a 5 and a 2, so it's a 7. So he hits Vader. Is he going to use the sorry? I think you have to.
Yeah, he does.
Yep, there's the sorry. And Carl doesn't have an answer for it.
I think you have to swing at Luke here. No, you got to swing at
Yeah,
I
think you swing at Rey
just to cause some more damage.
Nope, he disagrees. He swung at Luke and got blaster deflectioned. I agree with you. I think you swing at Rey.
Yeah.
You cause the damage. You make sure you kill Rey. You hope you draw a 6 for Battle Destiny in a deck that's got a lot of those.
Yeah, and he draws a 4. So I mean.
Yeah. I mean, he just drew a 1, which means Kylo's dead no matter what because you don't have the immunity.
Yeah.
You're not. I don't think you're taking any overflow there. That Ben Solo's not
6,
causing overflow.
4, so 10, 11, 12 to your 10.
And 9. Yeah. 9. 5 and 4 is 9.
Is it
either way?
6, 5?
Is he? I thought it was a 5-5. Okay, either way, it's Kylo dies, Rey dies. That turn went fairly well for Justin, like as good as could be expected.
You cleared a drain of 2. You also established yourself for a drain of 3 on your next turn, unless Carl does something about it.
And we see the point man, which I think was really just Carl putting his highest Destiny card down there, along with Forlom. Like the bottom of Carl's deck is all big Destiny. You got
to think it's like a 5, a couple 6s, maybe a couple 5s. So,
and I would expect we'll see here's a Lord Maul. Yeah, I think we'll see Lord Maul, and you have a blaster deflection. That's cute. Luke's going to die to my 7 in Battle Destiny type thing, anyways.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're still getting drained for 4.
Yeah.
This is you're threatening at least to drain back 2 leaderships off the top and 2 Lukes. Well, you're at least threatening damage back, but I don't know what you're actually going to get out of that.
And that's
Carl
what
went and got Force Lightning, so he was not. Well, he might not have been able to activate all the way to the bottom.
There's not a single
6, 7, 6, 4, 5.
There's
5,
nothing lower than
3.
4 in there.
Oh, there's a 3. The double back is a 3, but yeah, I agree. Carl's in a spectacular spot here. I think Carl is exactly where he wants to be.
Carl is exactly where he wants to be. Carl is riding. Not only is Carl playing well, he's also riding a very good high right now because the fact is his Ohio State Buckeyes are in the national championship.
Yeah, no, he's
probably wearing his best Buckeye shirt, dressed to the nines, and there's Darth Maul with double-bladed lightsaber, so that's not good for Justin.
Yeah, and the
Phantom Menace, I'm pretty sure, is on the table. Sorry about the mess in his hand, though.
Okay, and we see is he putting somebody else out? Nope, he's just going to go Maul's double-bladed.
I don't think you need it, because, again, your Destiny is so good.
Yeah, and you've got the Phantom Menace on the off chance he misses the swing. Yeah. So Justin says, fine, I'll first aid to make sure I get the swing is a 6 and a 2, which is a miss.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
That's a little unfortunate.
That is definitely not what Justin wanted there.
Carl draws a 5. Justin draws a 5 as well. But
so Justin's is a 5 total. So he's at 12 to 12. I think they're tied actually.
Oh, you're right, because Luke is
because Maul's a 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're tied, but Carl cost him Luke. And honestly, if I'm Carl, I might move Maul over to hang with Asajj and Mara.
No,
of course, Carl says
no.
Forced
you gotta
him
be kidding me. Okay, we just lost the feed, everybody. Give me a second.
Oh, all right. Well. Yeah, that's...
I fixed now. I fix.
You fix? Yay!
I fix.
You fix. Yay! Good fix.
I fix.
All right. Yeah,
We might have to have that happen again at some point, but who knows?
That's fine.
I think so.
Yeah. I maintain I would have, I think, moved Maul over to just absolutely defend that too and force Justin to come down to the clearing where you start saying, I'm going to drain for 4, and then I'm going to move all 3 of my guys in front of you and say, let's dance.
I don't know. Like I like the possibility of threatening a drain of 6 next turn.
I like it, but I think
Isard over at the JCC.
Oh, that Isard was who he threw down. I saw him using more force, and
yeah, no, I like
Isard
what
at
Carl
the JCC.
Doing.
Yeah, like I think Carl might have gotten. I like what Justin's doing. I think Carl might have gotten a little aggressive with that Isard play.
No, he has to have. He makes that play with a kick. No way he does not make that play.
Yeah,
the thing is,
I guess
Yoda is only power 3 there because there's no other Jedi. It's not. He's not fighting. He's not being fought into. So he's only power 3. Isard is only power 2. You're not going to have overflow.
Yoda there.
Yeah,
there's nowhere to move Yoda either.
There's nowhere to go with Yoda.
One battleground.
Yeah, he cannot teleport.
Yeah.
So Yoda is stuck.
Yeah. TPM is out.
Yeah, it's right next to. It's up at the top right-hand corner. Bill.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Obi coming down is a good thing. But now he's powered +3.
Okay. Yeah, and that's.
And it is a drain 2 site, so.
Yeah.
Obi there makes sense. And Carl draws a. Oh.
And Justin draws a 1.
Yeah, you don't have to lose Isard.
I think you want to, though. I don't see any. I don't see. You don't have first strike out. There's no benefit to trying to rebattle in.
Yeah, Justin needs to get rid of that Ben Solo.
Lose Isard.
Justin needs to dump Ben Solo faster than Ray did.
Justin is very angry about that Ben Solo. He is frustrated right now. The Destiny in Justin's deck is
atrocious,
very high on average, but he is just like he's drawn the Hujix twice.
You know why?
He's drawn Ben Solo like 3 times.
It's because he's not playing any Destiny 6 cards. He's not playing Young Skywalker or Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. He's running Rebel Scout Luke, who I get is a good card.
He lost a Luke Jedi Knight and a Young Skywalker to one of his drains.
Well, then why aren't we seeing them on the table?
Because they're just not there.
Yeah.
I think he is either mistracking to get to the Ben, or I think he just went and got him.
Even better, it's a white border Ben Solo.
That's why he keeps drawing it in inopportune times. Because it's just such a hateful card.
I mean, I get the fact that now, one of the big changes...
Justin, spite grabbing point man, I think, because Carl's going to just keep using it.
Why not?
And you're just grabbing out of spite at this point.
Yeah,
like if I'm Carl,
he's like, Justin is doing drains of 2 and 2 next turn. Yeah. Carl's draining for 2, 2, and 2, and last time I checked, 6 was greater than 4.
That was, but there's new math now. You don't have kids, so I've had to try and teach my kids the new math, and I'm not entirely sure that 6 is now greater than 4.
Is that why you have a little bit of the gray in your beard?
You shut your mouth. There is no gray. I don't know. These are wisdom highlights, and I am sticking with that until the end of time. Thank you very much.
Hey, Ben going down in front of Mara and Asajj.
And he'll get the lightsaber from Lost.
Yes, which is, he's going to be able to clear that location. I actually would have gone for
I think Maul. I would have gone after Maul.
No, because then you put a 7 back in your deck that Carl can track.
Yeah, good point. If you do that, Carl can track a 7 and potentially just drop like Choke Lord Vader on top of Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
And make Justin cry just a little bit. So Justin does get the retrieval with Force is Strong in my family because Ben Solo is a Skywalker.
Yeah, it says
so. Oh, good Lord.
He misses it at the Dark Time. Justin, why did you not grab the Dark Time?
I'm sorry, but Justin has hit so many 1s on draws that are just painful.
That's
and he deflects 1 swing, but Carl's got 2.
Yeah.
And Carl's gonna grab blaster deflection.
Honestly, and I gotta say this. We're probably gonna see a handshake soon.
I think we've got to like that. I
Like
don't think
the fact
Justin
that he was not able to clear both Mara and Asajj there.
Yeah, he's going to
It's
cost
gonna
him
hurt.
Asajj.
It's gonna cost him Asajj, and then you're gonna see
Yeah,
drains of 6 next turn, and then
yeah,
Carl has the possibility of going down in front of Obi.
yeah. I don't think it matters. You
No.
cost him Asajj. You drain for 6,
Yeah. And
and
Ben
Carl
is
can
hit.
throw in front of Obi. Can't Carl could also just say, "Fine, I'm going to drain for 6. Will you drain for 4?" And you don't have more than 2 turns or so left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
Justin does have
See,
a young Skywalker in hand, or a Luke Jedi Knight.
Chris is just on the ball today. I love it. Yeah, I agree with you, Chris.
Excuse me.
You got to think that
Yeah,
Carl was sitting about 18 in his life force. Yeah,
Carl is
handshake.
well ahead. Carl's in. Oh, and there's the 7 for Battle Destiny. Just to
Insult to injury.
that actually might have caused overflow.
Yeah.
Well, probably not, because I'm sure it was Asajj's saber that hit him. But yeah, Justin. I don't think Justin played poorly there. I think Justin ran into. We saw in game 1, Logan's hunt down just caught the absolute gas. I hit every card I needed type thing. Justin got the exact opposite of every draw I needed to just not draw one of the only a couple ones in the deck. He just kept drawing them. Yeah. And
it's unfortunate.
Even with 3PO, sometimes there's only so much you can do.
Exactly. And yeah, that's the right thing. But congrats to Carl. I don't want to confirm it, but I'm assuming that I believe that means that Carl is now sitting at 2-0. So
I believe Carl's sitting at 2-0. And I mean, Justin's not out of it. 1-1.
No, 1-1. I mean,
it's still very early.
Yeah, I was 1-1 at Worlds, and heck, I was 2-2 after 4 games at Worlds.
There's still a lot of Star Wars left to be played.
It's still gonna be a long day.
So yeah, 26 players, 5-3. 5-3 might get more than one player in, honestly.
Yeah,
at 26 players, we're talking about almost a third making it into the top 8. I will say 26 players for a major is a little unfortunate. Like, I know we wanted to do the West Coast. We want to include the players on the West Coast who are always traveling to Midwest or East Coast things. Like, I absolutely want to acknowledge that these guys travel hard and put a lot of time in and a lot of expense on their own to come do this. But, like...
Well, I believe the rumor is
Vegas
now
is tough.
That Seattle is going to be getting the World Championships. That's the rumor.
I mean, Mason, I don't know how much more this could be advertised. This was very...
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good point.
This was
Chris.
Aggressively advertised.
Yeah, I will say this. I'm hoping to get Holo Theater back up and running soon. So we'll talk more about that as I can. I'm going to be meeting with Mr. Mike Kessling, our current Does Everything advocate.
Yeah.
So we'll
talk about
advocate
of everything.
I don't know what his official title is. I just like to think that Mike has his hands in everything at this point. Same with like Greg Zinn, who is our rules advocate. However, Greg is kind of in charge of the graphics. So if you want to thank everybody for the graphics, thank Greg Zinn and his team. Trivia question by Chris Goglin. And first one in the chat to answer it. Who won the last major that was held out in Vegas? Garrett, you can enter. Chris can't, though.
I have no idea. So
I think I know who it was, but I'm not going to enter it.
I'm going to say Scott Church. So I'm pretty sure that's not accurate, but I do think he attended.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Vegas get bigger. It is very possible that this is we need to build into this. I want to see Seattle well attended. I really do. Like, I love the guys on the West Coast. I love how much they travel. I love having a tournament there to support them as well and say thank you for traveling. Let's, support and thank you for trying this stuff.
We'll figure out I don't know exactly what the prizes are going to be. We're going to definitely do some trivia today, so make sure you guys stick around for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to see tourneys on the West Coast
but
continue.
again, as Garrett pointed out earlier, our next one is going to be in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus is going to be getting its first major ever. Uh, so I'm going to say this for somebody who has been to Columbus a few times. The tournament, the area is amazing. There's great food options. The hotel is beautiful. It is a Hyatt, so expect a
And you
Hyatt.
will have me and Dan in person.
You're
Like,
telling that's the
I don't
reason
know
for
what
people not to go, Garrett.
I don't know what else you can want. You get
Scott,
me and Dan in person to come see us and come play Star Wars. Like, there's nothing better. I mean,
get your free easy wins.
yeah, it's Columbus is amazing though, and a large chunk of it is how good the Columbus crew has been in Kendall and Travis and Carl in building that community and
Mm-hmm.
showing up, and that's how
How many people did we have at Ohio
tournaments
Mega
get
Worlds?
held. We had like 30 something, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
and
or
not even a major. It was Kendall's birthday weekend. It was a couple
yeah,
days after I turned 40. Nobody said
it's
happy
just a
birthday to me, but
solid,
that's besides the point.
it was a solid, fun weekend that, like, I think it was Kendall's brainchild a couple of years ago to get
Yeah,
started,
2 years ago.
and people started coming up, and everyone, 2 years ago it was a blast, and we had 20 something, and everyone saw it and was like, I need to go to that.
Oh,
So the next
the
year it
fear
got
of missing
bigger,
out
and
was insane.
it was awesome. Like,
Yeah,
it was a blast, and definitely something you should
everybody should go
make it if you can.
To Columbus. As I said earlier, I do agree that people should go early to just experience Travis's basement once. It's not the
Yeah.
biggest basement, but oh my gosh, he put on
Tra-
such a nice show.
Travis's basement is amazing. Downtown Columbus has, so much outstanding food, outstanding stuff to go see. It's just such a great spot.
And it's in October. If you really want to get interested, you can go see Ohio State. I don't
Well,
know why you.
it's usually planned to not be against Ohio State, an Ohio State game,
Yeah.
because that does make hotel
Well,
space a
I'm
little
saying in
harder to
October.
get.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But Columbus in the
Just
spring is great, and I do believe that it
yeah.
is going to be in the spring.
They're
So
shooting for April. We're shooting for late April. It's just figuring out unfortunately, some of the same issues that, Chris identified with Vegas was a little late in getting some of the info out, because we all knew a Vegas major was happening, but we couldn't nail down the date right away. We're running into a little bit of the same issue in Ohio right now. Carl's trying to get that all nailed down, and it will happen, but it's just, it takes a smidgen of time sometimes to get that nailed down and get
mhm.
hotels to confirm and work with us and go from there. But it's Ohio in April is, I'm sure, as pretty as Ohio gets, which isn't necessarily saying a ton, but like, you'll be hanging out with us, you'll have fun. It's there is nothing. ESPN fastest 2 minutes recap.
Of
Game
what?
one of what we've seen and observed so far for those who are joining late.
Fastest 2 minutes. Logan Petit upset Jeff Levine in game one. Hunt down versus Anakin Saga. Logan was able to get Vader out to the Cloud City downtown plaza really early, threatened to drain of 3. Logan essentially was able to force choke Jeff, and even though Jeff was able to get out some Jedi here and there, Logan came down and beat them off of the ground early. Logan did go to space, however, Luke shot him down, but at the same time, Logan did clear Luke twice out of space. Game 2 was Justin Miyashiro on his Luke Saga versus Carl Koenig on EOPS. Carl got out he was able to flip early. Justin went to space with the wild card, and Hera did reinforce with Han Solo, Chewie, and the Millennium Falcon V up at Polos Mossos. However, Justin was not able to establish himself on the ground, as Carl was easily able to take Luke off the ground multiple times and continue to drain for 4 at least each turn.
What we've seen right now is two Skywalker Saga decks played. One Anakin Saga, one Luke Saga, and both of them run into the problem of a dark side that was ready for them and just said, all right, I'm going to load a site. I'm going to make it hard for you to retrieve through Coward and go after me. And that's going to be where they struggle a little bit. Like Logan's, that hunt down match, Logan just drew absolute gas. Like every card Logan needed, Logan had. And when Hunt Down does that in a mains versus main matchup, Hunt Down wins. Like that was what it was. It was amazing. Game 2.
Yeah, I just went over all of this in like
Justin,
than 2 minutes. I don't know why
Justin
you're recapping.
In game 2, because we gotta fill space, and
well,
they want
I was
to
going
hear
to say,
my
why
voice.
don't we take our break? We'll come back for game 3. So make sure everybody's sick of the PC channel. But yeah, Garrett and I will return with more Star Wars CCG action.
Smoke if you got them.